sort of roles. I think you guys are the host. There we go. Okay. Well, hi everybody. My name is Tony Macri. I'm happy to be back with the crew again, and we're going to do another monthly update for you all. This last month and a half or so have been pretty busy. We've had a lot going on, so we'll kind of lay it out for you. And the biggest thing we started off with is some pre-team training, pre-team meetup. So we'll hand it off to Rolls to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we all got together in Denver. It's such a great opportunity to get together and do some team building, especially as a new team. We got together in Denver and hung out. We did some outings, some various activities throughout the town, hung out at their Airbnb. You know, we couldn't stay away from talking about snowboarding. So yeah, it always just kept going back to snowboarding. But some super fun late night discussions and just some really cool activities to get to know each other, as a unit and as individual humans. And then we headed off to team training and hit the ground running as soon as we arrived. It was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. So team training, we do some stuff. Spend about half the day on snow and half the day indoors. And I'll chat real quick just about kind of some of the focuses we had on snow. We were up at Arapahoe Basin. We got lucky with some early season snow. And really the first 2 days was more of a technical focus, really getting our riding and our feet back underneath us and challenging each other as to, what some of those movement patterns look like from level 1, level 2, level 3 certification, talking a lot about flexing edge change instead of flexing at edge change, but rolling through that and also talking about, the different separation pieces between upper lower body at level 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, so it was great for us to kind of challenge each other, give each other some feedback on that, and then moving into the third and fourth day, we had Chris actually lead us through some real cool teaching focus, like how we're really kind of trying to get that assessment score on our scorecards or on our assessment forms, which is really cool. So we all kind of ran through a little teaching focus, which was cool. And then, there's a couple days there where we also had to take some photos and some videos. So hopefully that we can use to help promote some different events throughout the season. And with that, I'll hand it off to Lindsay. Lindsay's going to talk a little bit about more what we did in the afternoons as we move to the indoor section of team training.
Yeah, so indoors we had to, or we got to meet with the task force chairs for all the various task forces, our teaching skills task force, our people skills task force, our collaborative alignment task force. And we just heard updates on where we're moving with the national strategic alignment processes. So our scorecards have been updated already, and now we're just working towards updating our processes so they're aligned across all the regions. So it's really nice to hear about like all the details of where that's going and what things are being ironed out. We also had a great presentation from Pete Allison where we talked about what our own strengths are and where our opportunities for growth are as well, and how we can use each other to help create more strengths. And then we had a great presentation from Angela Ross as well. We got to do some really interactive and fun teaching exploration in that presentation.
Cool. Hey, and then after team training, it's time to like hit the road and get out on the road and start going out to the different regions where the regions are prepping for their examiners. So there's a lot of examiner training. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to Chris Rogers as we started in Rocky Mountain with some regional training.
Yeah, like usual, we rolled right out of team training and right into Rocky Mountain training. But unlike usual, Rocky Mountain and Intermountain partnered on bringing our fall examiner training together. So it was the first time we tried doing this. It was a dual region ed staff training, a couple hundred examiners, alpine, snowboard, adaptive, cross country, tele, all the disciplines there. And it was really cool to work together with as we work towards this national alignment project in 2026 to start taking some of those steps in the near term. So rather than just doing things in our own silo, getting together with another region. And that really helped us identify some of the things that we're doing really well as we work towards alignment, and maybe some areas that we still have some growth. And highlighting and contrasting some of those differences between regions helps us figure out the next steps for how we move forward. So it was a really good 3 day indoors and on snow, working through the teaching examiner skill set building, looking at how we're asking questions, how we're working towards a more aligned teaching process through level 1, 2, and 3 certification, as well as then really diving into the snowboard task force proposal for the 2026 alignment and what that looks like for movement analysis, personal analysis, and setting up riding activities. So it was kind of the main focus for our Rocky Mountain and Intermountain combined training.
Yeah, right on. And then it was great to have Brian Donovan there as well, but then he left us and went up to the Northwest and played with some of that crew. So tell us about that, Brian.
Yeah, so it's been really rad. This fall, I was at Rocky Mountain and Intermountain coach trainings. I was out in Western at the uh, Western and staff training. I was in the Northwest training, and this week the whole crew, all the different examiner crews, Kansas our team, where there's opportunities for us to support them with more training and more clarity and more content, and then really taking all those learnings back to our National Snowboard Task Force and coming up with where the opportunity for different examiners and ultimately where the opportunities for us to provide clarity and support to the membership. And so I've been on the road with a lot of the ed staffs, and what's really rad is seeing how much more similar we all are than maybe people realize, and how in different pockets there's some really cool things going on. So it's been a busy fall, but it's been a good fall to see snowboard ed staffs just really grinding to be ready for the season.
Nice. And then so you're out west with Josh, right? And then Josh, you moved on to northern Rocky Mountain with that crew up Montana with Maddie Larson. So tell us about that experience, Josh.
Yeah, so I've been out in Montana the last couple days on snow with Matt Larson, and just to double up on Brian, like the similarities from each region is super cool to see. We are way closer than some of us may have thought, but still able to hold like each region's uniqueness and identity is super cool to see as well. But yeah, I mean the main goal here is that we're setting up candidates with clarity around what assessment criteria is being assessed at any given point throughout each of the processes. So, and that's the same with our writing day, our teaching day, and our tech understanding and MA day. So yeah, it's been super cool.
Nice. That's awesome. Hey, and then Chris Rogers is going to be making his way out to Central to work with that crew. And we got Lindsay making her way out east with Donovan to work with that crew. So definitely some more examiner training coming down the pipe as we move into the holidays. But, something as we get into the holidays, we're going to have to start prepping our instructors at the resorts. So I'm going to hand it over to Jesse to talk a little bit about our ramp up at our local resorts. We all obviously work at different resorts. So let's talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, out here in Summit County, we're ramping up pretty heavily. Snow's super good. There's parks firing in the county. We've got jumps, we got rails, trees are a go. It's pretty sweet. In terms of training, CERT training for snowboard is huge right now. We've got big groups of participants, which is really cool to see. A lot of stoked new hires coming into the resorts, getting ready for the rush coming up in a couple of weeks for the holidays. And yeah, super cool to see everyone's just getting ready to give the guests an awesome experience. And I know that's, out here in Colorado and the rest of the country. So it's cool to see.
Nice. Hey, so that's going to take us into the holidays, and hope everybody has a great holiday. But before we leave, I want to talk to Maddie Larson a little bit about, hey, what's coming up for the season and a couple of plugs, things to look forward to.
Yeah. Hey, I'm jumping in a little out of my comfort zone. Actually, I am headed down to Cross Country Academy right now. I'm actually in my vehicle. That's why it's all dark right here. But I'm going to do a little collab with our cross country ski teammates, #1team. and do a thing on snow. I got 2 sessions tomorrow. Actually, we're going to dive into some people skills stuff. So very excited about that. We're also going to be traveling out to Northern Intermountain to help them with their regional ed staff training. And then just to recap from all the comments here this evening, there's a lot coming up this season. We got Women's Summit coming, so register for that. We got Rider Rally on the books. We got stuff happening on social media. We just put out a little AASI challenge. Check that one out. Hashtag AASI challenge. There'll be a bunch of stuff coming out through the season there. Add yours. Check it out, and then see what we can get going on there with the AASI community. And then, the podcast is out there. So check that. And boy, we just love interacting with you. So, throw some comments out. Let us know what's going on at your area. And we look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Matt. Hey, a couple other things. Also, Women's Summit. We want to get some of the ladies together and sign up for Women's Summit. That registration is open. And speaking of women, hey, we're down one teammate tonight, and we like to say safe travels to Corey. Corey's actually on her way over here to China. I'm actually at the airport. I'll be seeing her in a few hours, hopefully. So yeah, catch up with Corey in China and check out her first time in China teaching some snowboarding over here. So with that, we'll leave everybody with a good night and hopefully great holidays to everybody. And we'll catch up again in January and update you again. Thank you so much for watching.
Peace.